know who it is. It's KC, but this is not No Fly Zone, despite the hat. This is Night Terrors with KC, which is a whole new thing, during which I'm going rogue because Bret is otherwise indisposed. You'll never find the body. Can't pin it on me. Don't be a narc. And I have on two of my only, I was going to say best girlfriends, but like, let's be honest. You're like my only girlfriends. The beautiful, magnificent Tasha. She said hi. She's just shy. And then we have Rachel.
Hey.
They're not sisters, despite looking exactly like sisters, which is fucking creepy.
Thank God.
But they are best friends of how long?
14 years?
14 motherfucking years.
Jesus.
It was longer than my first marriage.
Lucky for you.
I mean,
out of that shit.
Not a joke.
I don't think I even own shoes that old, but that's why we have a little new intro going on. I have two fellow vaginas on the show with me. Rachel will actually be... So she hasn't actually been on the show yet, but she was, because Bret and I and Rachel all attempted to record a 2-part super fun episode and had serious technical glitches. So we're re-recording that tomorrow night. But for tonight, this is probably the first time you are meeting her. And I'm just so proud of this music I found that I want to let it play, but I'm going to start turning it down now. So guys, oops. Did I mention I'm not a DJ or smart?
You're trying anyway.
No.
I am trying so hard. Thank you for appreciating that.
It's just all curves, man. I'm telling you.
Dude, I'm like a fucking motorcycle that's perpetually stuck in the mud. God damn, I am revving that engine, but I am not going anywhere. Like, that's just my life in a nutshell.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's my life.
I'm also fucking cursed, okay? So not only do we have technical issues with Ryan coming back on tonight, so that didn't work, but as soon as Tasha got on, all of her shit, to include her cell phone, stopped working. Completely.
Yeah. It's a fucking conspiracy.
Done.
It's the birds. Fucking birds. So you may wonder why I am calling this episode Night Terrors instead of No Fly Zone Dumpster Fire Edition. I want to talk about creepy shit. I am up at 2 a.m. recording a podcast. This is my first time ever recording a podcast by myself, unsupervised, as I should never be. But here I am. So I want to talk about ghost encounters. Who's got ghost stories for me?
Oh,
you go first.
There's so many. It's so funny because before I got your text about this, I was actually just telling my husband about a creepy one when I was with my now ex-husband. He lived in this we were in Maryland at the time. He lived in this, like, it was technically a mansion that was built like during the Civil War for some general's daughter or something. And the side of the building had been converted into a nursing home at one point. And come to find out, while it was a nursing home, it actually burned down twice and had to keep being rebuilt. So at some point, someone very illegally turned it into these weird apartments. It never should have been apartments, but it was. So, like, you go into his apartment and it was a very long, creepy hallway. And then off to the left was a living room which led to a kitchen. And then to the right, there was one set of rooms. There was 2 bedrooms per person in their own bathroom. And there was 3 sets of this in here. And at the very end of the hallway was my ex-husband's bathroom. So he and his best friend are downstairs drinking outside, sitting in the back of the truck, and I'm in the bathroom, and I can hear like a metal doorknob attached to the bathroom is like jiggling, like somebody's trying to like fuck with you to like open the door, but I had it latched and it just kept shaking. And I was like telling him, like, can you just knock it the fuck off and leave me alone? And awkwardly enough, right next to the toilet was the emergency exit door to go. Yeah, it was so fucking weird. But
what?
Yeah. So I'm sitting next to the emergency door, and then across from me is, like across from that is the door to go down the long, creepy hallway. And the door is like shaking. And I'm like getting really pissed because I'm just trying to pee and nobody's leaving me alone. And the door just keeps shaking and rattling. And there's like the door handles jiggling. And I had my cell phone, so I called my ex-husband and I was like, is fucking Brian up here? Like, is he fucking around? And he's like, and I hear Brian and he's like, what is she yelling about? And I was like, who's in the apartment? He's like, nobody's in the apartment. And I was like, no, you're fucking with me because there's literally somebody standing outside of this door that's been like trying to open the fucking door this whole time I've been in here. And he's like, we're literally outside. And he walks around and they walk around to where that emergency exit is to go down the stairwell there. And they're both standing there and there was nobody in the apartment. Nobody was in the apartment at all. Just this fucking door rattling like hell. We had so many issues living there. And I did not go out that door.
So-
I unlatched it and I ran down the fucking emergency exit stairs. There was no fucking way.
I was about to ask you, what kind of emergency are we expecting to encounter while taking a shit? However, you just answered that question.
Now I know.
That it's the ghost emergency exit door.
That apartment had so many issues. Like, there were so many times where, like, I'd be sitting in one spot and somebody'd be sitting in the other, and you get that electrical burning smell, and it happened all the time. And then, like, all of a sudden, I wouldn't smell it, but they would now smell it, and it would just, like, go around the room all the time. Like, and it would be in all various parts of the apartment. And then, yeah, that was a lot. So we were like, well, we're going to go explore a little, because...
Have you seen a horror movie?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we're white people.
Make sure you split up.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
okay, we'll split up to cover more ground.
Right.
Okay, if you are an ethnic minority, do not attempt this. You're the first to go. Okay, I think I probably look white enough. I could probably survive, but if they find out I'm Mexican,
that's it. That's it, right?
I'm fucking the first one dead. Okay, like I gotta be like put on a golf shirt and some fucking Hey Dudes before I go split up in a horror movie. Okay?
Seriously though, like we decided we're gonna go down. The first place you go is the basement, right? So we go outside. I know. So we go outside.
The last
and go
place
to
you go is the basement. The fuck?
I was young and dumb. I
No,
don't know what to tell you.
nothing.
We went. The first place we went was the basement. So we go downstairs. You open up the door and it's not like a basement, it's a cellar. And you know what I mean by a cellar? Like it's all concrete and it's all like, it's musty and like.
Pause. This is a real story?
Yeah.
I've seen this.
You're not making this shit up?
I will give
I've seen this movie.
I will give you his number. You can I'll give you Brian's number too. So yeah, we went down to the basement.
Oh no, I don't want to talk to people.
Yeah, no.
And Tasha's like, nah.
I believe you. Go on.
No, so we go downstairs.
Too many times already.
Right? But no, you go downstairs and it was old hospital beds from like the 50s. From whenever this was a nursing home, it had these old, and some of them were like burned a little bit from like the fire, and like it was so fucked. It was a.
Is this funny or is it just really late and I'm sleep deprived? Like,
no, that was.
This sounds really.
No, it's funny.
Especially
if you knew her first husband, it's even better.
Was he a what's the least like offensive word I can use?
I'm not a good resource for that.
In case for whatever reason he ever sees this, I will vouch for him now. He is a great person. He's a great with our daughter, but we were all stupid then. So I'm just going to leave it at that that was a special time.
Some of us never grow past this.
Bret's not here. We cannot talk about him when he's not here.
I know. Bless his stupid little fucking heart. I had to like chew him out at like 4 a.m. this morning because he was like, what the fuck was he on about? We were talking about our Bigfoot episode. There's a little caveat, but not really, because y'all know Bret. And I'm trying to logically, rationally, in like, the way I'd write a police report, explain to him the outline that I've done for this episode, which I have a third of it, right? And he's like, well, that ties into the feral mountain men and the half-human hybrids. And I'm like, bro, you can't just say stuff like that. Like, you got to have something in front of you to, like, explain what you're talking about. And he's like, but what about the government? And I'm like, what about the government? What are you talking about? Like, the fuck? You're just saying words. It's word salad. Like, you can't do this. I'm like,
oh no.
If you want to show up on the podcast wearing an actual piece of foil on your head and you want to be that guy, go full send on
Yeah,
it.
right.
Okay,
Pay
man,
him $5.
But like, you can't just be talking like this. You can't be
That's
talking like
so
this.
funny.
So the problem with this podcast is, at our 1 year mark, here's my prediction.
Somebody write it down.
I will be more skeptical and disbelieving of everything, and he will be like yeeting his cell phone into the sun and using potato-powered batteries because that's how the government
He already
tricks you.
is.
Like, he's gonna be fully committed.
He already is. He and I already had this conversation very briefly about fucking flat Earth, and I was like, okay, all right, we have to bring this back to science and mathematics here. Like, a thing doesn't exist simply because you said it exists. Like, yeah, we started having this.
And that's the funny thing is, he's like,
Works.
you gotta look at these flat Earth videos. They're funny. And then now he sends them to me. He's like, you gotta look at these flat Earth videos. They make sense. No.
Oh my God.
They don't. Stop.
Okay, so did you see that? I sent you
I saw a meme one time.
right? Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead, Tasha.
I saw a meme one time, and it was like, let's be honest, if the world was flat, cats would have knocked everything off it by now.
Yeah. My brother would have already fallen off the edge because that's Darwinism, is the cats pushing the fucking idiots off the edge of the flat Earth.
That's so funny.
I would like to... Someday, I just hope that I find out that I really was adopted and I'm not just the weird fucking albino Mexican child in this family, because that would be a huge relief to me on many levels.
That is way too high of expectation. I'm trying to see.
Thank God he's pretty. That's all I'm gonna say. Back to ghosts.
Try to see if I sent you this video. Oh man,
you probably did.
I don't know. Kyle showed it to me earlier, and it was a video of the Mars rover, like active watching the Mars rover on Mars, and somebody like zoomed in on it, and it had like a housefly on it. Like, yeah. So like everybody's all freaking out saying that it's actually still here on Earth. I don't know where the video is though.
Well, if you guys are interested in that kind of shit, fear not. We have some really interesting episodes coming up at the end of the week and next week, where we're going to talk about the flat Earth theory, the hollow moon theory, and the fake moon landing, which I promise you, my brother's going into this convinced everything is fake and the moon's for sure hollow and a spaceship.
But you know,
and there's going to be no proving him
I will
otherwise.
say I semi-support that hollow moon theory. There's something to that.
Okay, we'll talk more about that later. I want to hear more about the ghost because I'm so anal about like not going off track, and then here I am.
You're the worst offender.
Right, I know. Yeah. In general, it's because I'm competitive. So if someone's like a worse offender than me, I gotta be even worse. It's like, you think you're annoying? Watch this.
It's funny.
So okay, this is my last little fucking red herring here. I was really excited to bring this on the show, my little guest, and by little I mean a stress ball penis. I was really excited. 24 hours of taking out my aggression on this penis, and it exploded. That's how long it lasted for me. Yeah, and I was sitting there like just fucking around with this thing. Like, I have a lot of rage inside me. Anyway, so I was really excited about that. I plan to get another one so I can bring it on the show because it's funny and I love it. But also, backtracking, rewinding. So sorry if anyone is still listening and you haven't like yeeted and deleted us yet, which I'm sure you have. Go back. You glazed over this. Fucking burnt hospital beds in your basement. What? Wait, what? Burnt hospital beds?
Yeah, I remember it was when it was a nursing home and it burnt up. Yeah, it was. They just threw them in the basement.
The beds in the basement?
Yeah.
Tasha, you are the horror podcast expert, which we'll plug later because in this version we didn't plug it, but can you tell us what burnt hospital beds in your basement foretell about your immediate future?
You're going to see a ghost with some burned shit, or you're going to spontaneously combust, or...
That was Bret's chosen way to die, remember?
Searching the...
Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna yank this thread back again and go back out into left field where we live now. We're in the middle of a very serious scientific outline with Rachel, again, on our last failed attempt to record this.
No, it was so bad. It was so out of left field.
And my brother, who supposedly is my brother, but I have doubts, sir. He inserts into this technical, scientific, physics-based conversation. I think I'll lighten things up. How would you like to die?
He said, what was your ideal way to die? And we were both like, what? He's like, I think I'd want to spontaneously combust.
Can I just say,
Tasha,
that him being a relative of yours is confirmed by the fact that is lighting up the conversation?
True. Trust me to say some stupid shit. That would be me, like, at a funeral. Be like, he wouldn't want us to be crying right now, so let me lighten it up. Fuck, marry, kill. And, like, up on the podium. Just, you, and you. Fuck, marry, kill. Like, just pick 3 random people. Be like, I'd kill you for sure, sir. You look like a douchebag. You're wearing fucking salmon to a funeral.
Oh, God.
You're on the kill list, sir. I don't make the rules. It's science. So, yeah, Bret decides that he lightens up the conversation by telling us that he would love to spontaneously combust and burn to death painfully.
Yep.
So, Tasha, what would be your ideal way to die?
I mean, hopefully, like, in my sleep before I'm 90,
peacefully.
Because who knows what the world is going to be like by then.
Okay, and
I think mine was just being absolutely mauled to death by puppies. I think that was...
Oh, that's
but
right.
see, I think that's how I'd actually go out,
valid.
So...
I have a multitude of different ways that I would like to go out. I mean, anything that would actually take me out at this point, because the universe / the Reaper has made so many fucking attempts on my life. It's like a goddamn government conspiracy, okay? Like, that Reaper shoulder checks me at least once a fucking week. I mean, I'm joking, but no, I'm not joking at all.
I still haven't forgiven it for Betty White.
Huh?
I said I still haven't forgiven it for Betty White.
Dude, yeah, fucking bounces off me and takes out Betty White. Like, take me! I firmly believe the way that I will die, if I can die, undetermined, results pending, would be trying to, like, pet a bear. And I mean that in, like, the most primal sense of there's something in me that so badly wants to pet a bear. Like, it could be... And I told this on the fucking other episode that we trashed. I was watching the Revenant, the Leo DiCaprio one, where he gets murdered by a bear, basically. And in my head, I'm thinking, its ears just look really soft. And, like, its head is right there. He could just reach up. He's going to die anyway.
Most of this situation.
Like,
2 things. 1, I have seen how animals react to you via your Snapchats. Oh. The bear would walk up and roll over and wait for you to scratch
fucking
its belly.
Dr. Doolittle over here.
And
yeah.
Right? Snow White. She's fucking Snow White. Number 2.
They can smell how much I hate people.
They're like our kind. So if you have never listened to The Dollop, it's like a history comedy podcast. Their 5th episode is on this guy named Hugh Glass, and he's the one that movie is based off of.
Oh, really?
He was a fucking badass. Like, it is insane.
I should listen to that. You should send me that, because I'm going to, in the next 58 seconds, forget all about what you said. I'm so sorry.
It's amazing, and they have dark humor, so it's kind of...
I love it. Make sure you send me that.
Yes.
My hippocampus is rebooting right now. I don't have any control over this. God, I don't even remember where I was going. But yeah, the animal thing. Donkeys, mini horses, woodpeckers, cats, dogs, raccoons, possums, skunks. What else? A bird. That's my favorite. all these things I've found while on duty, and like other people just roll about their lives, just doing their business, and yet I'm at work, just rolling around, and animals will just pop up in front. Oh, a camel! Did I tell you about the camel in traffic?
I don't
That
remember the
happened.
I didn't
camel.
hear about a camel.
Yeah, there was a camel running. You want to talk about like one of those "Am I high right now" moments? Like you're just sitting there in traffic, and there's like a fucking camel running between the cars, and you're like,
Trying to figure
"Well,
out how much you
that
had that day.
happened." Uh huh.
I take it back.
And
That's how I want to go.
That's so funny.
you want to be a camel getting hit by a car?
No, I want to be in the car going, what the fuck is that camel doing?
And then you're out like a light. I imagine it like you know in the Matrix, the original Matrix, where they're in the simulation and somebody pulls their plug, and the way they just go and just like go out.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine. And then boom, you wake up and it was a simulation all along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why can't I die? I'm sorry for the tangents. These are kind of fun tangents though. And we have no rules because I am
Brett's
the
not
god
here,
of
so
this
it's fine.
podcast tonight. Oh god. He's always been I've had like 19 different personalities since like I came out of the womb screaming and mad. But Bret has only had one, and you see it when you talk to him. Like that's it. That's all there is. Super love that for him. So
On topic here.
circling back, it's a little bit of a marathon. We've got your creepy murder cellar full of burnt murder hospital beds in the murder house with the convenient
Next to the
emergency
toilet,
exit.
yeah.
Don't remember that from horror
Yeah,
movies,
that was
but
pretty
okay.
Yeah, that's never a thing. Unless
We
you
are
open
sure
it
going off script there.
and it just takes you to another hallway.
Oh yeah. Okay, so what else happened in this house?
There was so we could hear like noises inside the apartment, but nobody was home. Like we knew nobody was home. Like we had just pulled up, but we could hear something like in the hallway. And so I told him, I was like, I'm definitely not going in there. Like he's like, okay, I'm just gonna put my phone in and I'll just snap a picture real quick and then we'll just see because the hallway was dark. So he was just gonna use his flash and like see if anything was in there. And I was like, okay, so he did. He just reaches his arm. Now I gotta give you a time frame here because this was like 2006 ish, and it was when the Sidekick had just come out. You know, the one that you flip the thing and it's got the keyboard. Do you know phone I'm talking about? Like it was. Oh my God, we're all the same age here. Come on, help me out. It was a phone. And you flip the screen and it like
is it kind of like this?
Kind of, but it would flip like but it would like flip around.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. So to give you So to give you context,
okay.
that's the kind of phone he was using. So he reached in, he tapped a picture and he pulls it out and we looked at it. We put it up on the, we went back to his mom's house because I was not staying there. Pulled it up on the computer and you could see like 3 distinct faces in like various parts of the hallway. And I was like, nope. Nope. Somewhere probably
have that picture?
on an old hard drive. I'll have to find it.
Please find that for me.
Yeah.
Find that for me.
It was a while ago.
Yes.
Yeah. That was cool.
So
yeah, we had some other weird things happen too. It was it's a weird place.
Why can't I have anything like that happen to me? Like pisses me off.
You just go to
like,
my parents' house.
God damn it. If a simulation's real, they can. Yeah, the ghost would fucking like hide or go into hibernation when I come around. I've been to the most haunted cemetery in Kansas.
No, you gotta go to regular people's homes. Like my parents' house, they have shit happen all the time. All the fucking time. Actually, I'm gonna see. You guys, I'm gonna see if I can find this video my dad sent me.
Okay. Tasha, what is going on when people have like activity in their houses? You're the paranormal expert, so put on your little scientist hat and tell me, explain to me.
I mean, I am an expert, but I usually don't narrow it down so much. I I don't know. I mean, they could have just watched Poltergeist that night, or like could be like some residual shit that's like sticking around, from like burned nursing home beds in the basement.
And stuff like that does like supposedly hold on
Usually like
to,
traumatic
I don't
events.
know,
like
is it spirits or energy
Dark
or
matter.
something or
Yeah.
dark matter? Okay. Is it fucking strangelets, kilonovas, which I learned about last night, and I can't wait to like
That's so
share
funny.
my little new term.
crowbar that into a conversation.
You'll be talking about like, oh, look at this little bunny. Have you heard about kilonovas? This is a real problem. 2 stars colliding and making a black hole. Crazy shit. Like something I just learned about, and somehow I remembered it. Like that's a real victory here.
It is always
For those of you who don't know, between chronic insomnia, compound just infinite trauma, and working night shift and being a cop and all this crazy shit, and I have absolutely no short-term memory. Like I'm talking none. To the point where Rachel or Tasha will be sending me videos, and if I'm at the gym where I have no reception, my mind will go, I saw this. I'll look at this later when I can load this. And then my brain will yeet that information into the fucking abyss. And she'll be like, you watch that video I sent? I'm like, you sent me a video? Like completely new information.
Literally had a conversation about it, but that's
It's bad.
cool.
too.
It's so bad. Totally forgot about that. It's to the point where I cannot remember most of the things that have happened in my career. To like Cody, who's my best friend, he and I will be talking to people, and they will ask me stupid questions like, tell us a funny story from your law enforcement career. And my brain immediately goes, not a single thing has ever happened to me in my life. Cody will then go, what about XYZ? What about this? What about that? And I'm like, I didn't remember any of that, but he did.
Walking encyclopedia.
And, like, it happened to me, but I did not remember it.
I wasn't there that day.
I'm
oh god.
physically thick and mentally sick.
Oh no.
It's me over here. Tasha, have you had any paranormal encounters?
So the house that I am living in now was built in the 1890s, and I am renting from a friend who got married and moved out, didn't want to sell her house. So within a week, I moved in like the week before Christmas, because here in Tennessee, for the most part, with the weather, you can do that as opposed to other places where you would freeze to death. So my mom and my sister came down for Christmas, and I was still on night shift. They stayed in my spare room, and I had come home from work and was in the bathroom, like brushing my teeth, and it sounded like somebody walked from the living room through to the kitchen, out the back door, which is where the driveway is, heard the door slam, vehicle start, like drive away. So I assumed that my mom had gone somewhere, like realized she needed creamer or some shit, whatever you put in coffee.
You're gross.
So you're gross.
You're gross.
Nasty shit. So I got up that afternoon and came out in the living room, and I was like, so where'd you go this morning? My mom was like, where did you go this morning? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, did you not leave? And she's like, no. She was like, I thought you left. She's like, I heard steps, like, from the living room through the kitchen. I heard what sounded like your car start, and I figured you had to run to the store for something. And I was like, I figured you had to run to the store for something. So that was within like a week of living here.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
So you
drive
heard a
off,
ghost
apparently.
walk through your house.
So thankfully,
It said Annie drove off.
do what?
And it drove away?
Oh, yeah. That's what it sounded like. So the only thing that I've really had happen, because they say,
I was going to say, does
animals
Journey
are, like,
notice
sensitive
anything?
to things. So every once in a while, like the weekend that I dog sat for my grandma and I had Damon here, he did it, and Journey every once in a while will do it. Like, he'll be in the middle of like playing with a toy, or he'll be like sound asleep, and all of a sudden he just like bolts up and he just stares, and
Fuck
it's
that
always
dude.
into the kitchen. Like, He will get up and walk into the kitchen. Yeah. So,
is there a reason that so much paranormal activity from people who have stories like this
I've
happens in the
heard
kitchen?
a lot of times that is related to there's always a lot of high voltage wires going into your kitchen, usually for the stove and the refrigerator, and then
Oh.
there's water, which is usually a conduit of paranormal activity as well. So like a lot of places, yeah, a lot of places that
Oh, okay.
live
That
with
makes
like
sense then.
usually running water, so like a river or a creek or something. A lot of times they'll have a lot higher activity too because of that.
Wow. That was the most educational thing I've ever learned about ghosts.
It's all just
And it
energy.
makes sense to me, even to me, who is dumb. That makes sense.
I just assumed it was like the dismemberment of all those delicious animals that happen in a kitchen, and it's like their spirits like haunting there.
Aren't they usually dead before they get to the
I
kitchen?
mean,
Yeah, but I mean,
One would think.
post-mortem trauma.
I've never killed an animal in my kitchen.
vegans
So
are going to
I
be
don't
coming
know.
for you.
Leave my personal life
Down.
out of this.
Dear vegans, write to
She
me.
just pulls out like a steak on a
At least
stick,
we
and
only gave
she's
him
like,
what's good.
I've eaten more chickens than you've dreamed of.
Oh God! So one of my
Um,
friends in the UK did a video with another friend of mine, and the comment was made during that video, like referring to going axe throwing and stuff. And our friend in the UK was like, she strikes me as the type that would have her own like full set of axes. Like Tasha would be that one to just show up and be ready to go. And then he made references to like decomposed body matter in my trunk. But
oh, you're not dumb enough to leave that in there.
I mean, come on. Everybody's seen enough forensic files to know that's not what you do. Like,
right.
I'm not just a pretty face.
She said that.
Just primarily.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty insulting when someone says things like, you probably have bodies in your basement. Like, excuse me? Like, I know how to dispose of a body properly. Don't insult me that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me? Like, that's so fucking insulting. Like, check your privilege, okay?
Would you like to find out firsthand where I had my bodies?
I can show you where I had my bodies.
If
That's the last thing you'll see, but like, I'll show you.
Whenever we finally like manage to get all three of us in the same place, we need to do like one of those best friend shoots where it looks like they're disposing of a body together.
We'll see if we can get Lily to
That would be
volunteer to
so
be
much
like the
fun.
person. Like my kiddo, she would love that. We'll just drag
That
her
would be-
around.
Oh my god.
She would absolutely love that.
Oh my god, yeah, that'd be so fucking fun. I thought you kind of did the wink where you're like, let's pretend to dispose of a body and take photos like it's a fake photo shoot. I'm like, yeah, wink. Like, I'll pretend with
to
you.
like fool somebody. Be
We'll
like,
stage that.
Would we take pictures of this if it was real? No.
Pull up on people, be like, is that a body? Oh, it's just for a photo shoot, officer. Okay, carry on. Like,
but the funny thing about it is,
real body.
No. See, the problem with this though
I
is
swear
that
to
the
God, I
three
had
of us
no
are the
idea.
type of people where we would say that and like not see where the problem lies. Like,
yeah,
just doing like good for the earth here. I don't like. I'm not gonna go throw it in the dumpster. It's just gonna end up in Jersey. Like, no.
You know what's funny is if we were to really, really like to try to dispose of a real body, I promise you, nobody would fucking notice. But if we were to like stage this fake photo shoot with a fake body, police would be called on us like 8 times.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, fucking Google Maps
just
would
for the
be
fake
going
thing. That's
by
how it
taking the
always
fucking
goes.
I had taken those
pictures.
calls, man.
Yeah, and it'd be just totally like completely under the radar. As long as it was a real body, nobody would notice. But if it's a fake one, you're gonna have lots of cops. It's kind of like when people smell, and I say this in quotations, smell a dead body, and they call because they know what a dead body smells like, and it's like a fucking raccoon or something. But then somebody will really like die across the hall and marinate for a week or two in the summer heat, and for some reason, not a single person identified that smell, which is
Right.
the
Yeah.
only thing that smells like a body is a body. Okay.
God.
Okay. We talked about how I say that too much. I noticed listening back to some of the podcasts, I'll be like, so in 1989, okay, this happened, okay? Like a fucking drag queen or something. I don't know what's wrong with me. But literally, neighbor will go in and like track his buddy's goo out into the hallway and be like, well, it's only been 2 weeks and the smell wasn't that bad, and you're like gagging from the ground floor.
Oh God.
This is a real story,
So
unfortunately.
ghosts.
It's a very brief version. But yeah, so that's a ghost, which I haven't
surprises
personally
me.
encountered a ghost.
That really
but I would love
surprises
to,
me
and I
about
live
you. I
vicariously
really
through all of
expected you to have more stories than the
Me
rest
too.
of us.
It's funny because I worked night shift for most of my like first maybe 5 years of my career. Loved night shift. Love it because I too am a creature of the night. I love nighttime. I also like to be the scary thing that sneaks up on people in the dark when they're doing things they're not supposed to be. There's two types of cops. There's cops who are scared of working at night, and there's cops who like become Dracula. And that was me. I love that shit. God, I love night shift. But here's the thing about night shift cops. When you're like a career night shift cop, you get sucked into this weird like microculture of where one cop like nudges up next to you. They're like, "You ever heard of George Norrie?" And you're like, "Wait, what?" They're like, "Yeah, some of us don't tell anyone. We tune into like the AM channels at like midnight. We listen to all the crackpots tell their stories." And that's how it starts. That's how they get you. And then, it's no longer ironic crackpot eavesdropping. Now it's the shadow people are out tonight. So what the fuck now? It's like,
oh no.
Yeah, I saw a shadow person over here at this street or that street or a duck behind the building. And you're like,
right.
This is the funny haha part. Like, you're supposed to LOL now. And they don't LOL. And then these fuckers are really, really convincing themselves that they're seeing shadow people everywhere. And for people who don't know what shadow people are, dude, grow up. Shadow people. It's in the name. Okay? God damn. God. I don't have to explain this to you. They're shadow people. It's exactly... It's fucking what it sounds like. So it's a thing where you're driving, and this is called sleep deprivation, people. This is not called George Norrie syndrome. This is called sleep deprivation. This is called your brain is tired, and there's a lot of shadows and streetlights at night. So when you're driving and you see the street sign shadow that is in vaguely human shape out of the corner of your eye, and you do your double take, and it's just a street sign, it's not shadow people.
Take a fucking help. Nap.
Okay? There's something wrong with people. Yeah, take a nap for real. Like, go shotgun a monster. Take some caffeine pills like us fucking adults.
My chair is so bad.
And just handle it. So there's this whole group of like mature adult, usually buff and bulky male, super men who also believe in fucking shadow people and like aliens and shit like that because they spent so much time ironically listening to George Norrie and Coast to Coast all night. Very weird situation there, because then you'll be in briefing like the next morning and people will be unironically talking about their shadow people sightings. Yeah. Grown men.
I'm really surprised that you haven't. I'm surprised you haven't had that. Truly,
but I didn't have that.
That's so weird.
Nothing. Me too.
Oh, that's probably
because all the animals scare them away.
That's true. I think maybe ghosts know that I would.
That's exactly it. Yep.
I think they know.
You're not wrong.
It's on my bucket list to like encounter some kind of like demon or something and see who comes out on top. I think I could take a demon. Like, I really do.
I'd put money on you.
Maybe they're just. Thank you. I have a lot of built up rage, and then like a demon is something I really wouldn't have to like sit and like, I don't want to like permanently injure this person. Or it's not a person, it's a demon. I too identify as a demon. Therefore, I feel like it would be a really good grudge match.
Oh my god.
Some celebrity
This is my
deathmatch
theory.
shit.
Casey versus
I
Beelzebub.
totally just had a mental image of you
Place your bets
just
now, folks.
absolutely fist fighting Mist. Like that's all it is Mist.
One night only.
And she's just like fucking going to town.
Oh, I would though. I would. This is my closest. I'll tell you my story of my ghost encounter. It was not a ghost. Plot twist. But it's the closest I've ever come to like. I'm not easily rattled, and by that I mean like. Well, I won't even get into that, but even situations where I should probably be like pissing myself for some reason, I'm that like weirdly like psychotically normal person. So my buddy and I, we were working night shift, and we got called on an alarm call to a giant warehouse that sells like camping gear and tactical gear and cool shit. So it's a huge warehouse. So the protocol for this is you take your gun out and you clear the building one room at a time, making announcements, calling people out. It's like you have to go in like at the burglary. But we do so many of these that we're kind of goofing off a little bit. We're like, it's the police. It's the sound of the police. Come on out with your hands up. Like, you know, just like calling bullshit out into the darkness and stuff and using our flashlights and being extra tactical. And, you know, like it's someone I've worked with a long time. It's a huge warehouse. We have a lot of space to cover. So we're really kind of fucking around.
Yeah.
Like we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, but we're also like not. Like we're giving like funny commands and shit. And so we clear this massive warehouse. It probably takes us like 30 minutes. It takes forever. And we're trying to be thorough because even though we're goofing around, we don't want to be that person who like misses the guy's boot sticking out from under a car or something. Like,
yeah.
And we get up to like it would happen. And it's not going to happen to me, okay? So we go up to the second level, which is like the management's offices, and it's a little nicer. There's a place where customers can walk in and see some displays and stuff, but it's pretty bare. And there's the only single light that's ever been on in our entire search is on in what we assume is a bathroom. It's like got the little toilet thing on it. It's not a normal one, but it's like a, extra wide door with a little toilet placard thing. So I'm over there like kind of checking under desks. My buddy opens the door and he goes, "Holy fucking Christ." And so he like makes this loud noise and he comes out like wiping his forehead, like with his gun down to his side. So I kind of have an idea that he saw something disturbing maybe. Still.
Yeah. Yeah.
It still got me, okay? Even though I knew, I just heard him get freaked out. This thing still got me. It's a giant room. It's an awkwardly large room for a bathroom with one single toilet in it. And directly across from the toilet is a full-size mannequin in full battle rattle. BDUs, military uniform, vest, gun. Okay, like fake gun.
Nope.
Night vision goggles, helmet, mask. I have never come so close to shooting something in my entire life. This looked like some fucking Navy SEAL commando sniper guy standing there in front of the toilet ready to kill me. It's just, usually mannequins, you can tell immediately it's a mannequin. You can see the plastic. No, this had gloves on. It had boots on. Mask. There was not a single bit of like mannequin skin showing on this thing. It looked like some kind of like ninja commando from hell in full size, standing there staring at the toilet. And I nearly, like, my gun came up. I was like, oh my, like the feeling that you have inside you in that moment, can't even describe it. Like, it's like your entire body just gets like an electrical shock because you're just like so convinced there's nothing in here.
It's just a mannequin.
There was a moment where I'm like, ghost? And then no, it was just a really convincing mannequin. The worst part of this story is that my buddy Kyle had just shit himself finding this thing, and I heard it happen, and I knew I was about to walk in on something. And it still got me. Like, there's no excuse. I have no excuse. I was like, I was not prepared. I was not ready. And I adrenaline dumped so fucking hard. My butt cheeks cramped. Okay, like, oh my Jesus. So that was my almost ghost encounter in which not one but two grown adult cops, and not like we were like
was going to say, this was
moderately
like 6
experienced
weeks
cops,
ago.
I guess, like 5 to 6 years in. Both of us. Oh, God. It feels like it was. I have fucking flashbacks. Both of us still nearly mag dumped on a mannequin. And this is a fucking tactical gear warehouse, so we should have known. You know, like, maybe we'll see a tactical mannequin. No, it didn't cross our minds. So, I'm really glad that neither of us shot that thing, because...
What happened was...
Could you imagine that report? Like, dear Sergeant...
I discharged my firearm.
What had happened was, none was more surprised than I, when upon entering a bathroom fully lit, with a clear plastic mannequin in full battle rattle, I then emptied my entire gun and reloaded
my gun and my bowels. I swear, this was not pleasant for anyone involved.
I work with some who would do that.
Yeah. On an unrelated note, may I please have more uniform allowance, because these ones are covered in shit. Unrelated.
No.
I think I'm smart occasionally, and then stuff like that happens. I'm like, I am the dumbest.
I mean, some of those
joke.
cardboard cutouts these days, like, that shit looks legit.
I just want to put this out there. It should be fucking illegal to make a mannequin like that and then position it in front of a goddamn toilet. It's wrong. It's illegal. It's a felony.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Just ain't
Of
right.
all places.
In front of a toilet?
He's expecting some real demons to come out of there, I'm just saying.
What has come out of that toilet in the past? They feel the need to place a golem in front of the toilet to guard. This is their emergency exit.
Yeah.
I have no explanation for this.
Oh no.
Well, since we're embarrassing me, the only other time that I've nearly shot something, same situation, in a Toys R Us, when those were still around. 2 of us clearing a Toys R Us in, like, the kind of witching hour, early morning, like, dawn. No lights on, nothing. And who but me, with my gun out, in this giant, creepy, quiet, empty warehouse. No. Who but me should then walk past a Tickle Me Elmo, which starts to scream at me. My finger was on the trigger for that one, I swear to God. I don't even know what came out of my mouth.
Tickle this shit, Elmo!
It screamed. It screamed at me, Tasha. I can't even mimic the noise that came out of that little fucking hellion.
Oh my God.
Dude. PTSD, I swear to God. I hear that, like, creepy ass laugh now. I am so impressed with myself that I didn't shoot it, because it went off right by my elbow, okay? I actually hit it because I turned around so fast, like I had my gun out, and it just starts screaming. I'm like, oh! Like, I'm getting a tension headache remembering it. It was so horrible.
Oh, God. All I can think is, like, the Toys R Us in Times Square when I went in, like, 2013. They had one of those T-Rexes in there that was, like, 2 stories tall. So I was, like, expecting you to drop some shit like that. Not...
No, Tickle Me Elmo. It was one of those, it's fucking voice activated, or motion activated, so I walked past that thing. It was like a horror movie where Chucky's just waiting for you to walk by, and then it jumps out with some kind of screech from hell. There is no reason. Yeah. I'm telling you, I want, like, everyone who makes these, I need them to, like, go to a conference for people who are straight from hell, and then the conference catch on fire or something. I don't know. This is wrong. This is a huge problem, and we need to address this. Wake up, America. Fucking mannequin.
I purposely didn't get a Furby because it was so creepy. I remember
I never had a Furby.
Nope. I was having a sleepover at a friend's house, and we were all like in our sleeping bags on the floor, and at like 2 a.m, this fucking Furby starts walking out the closet, and we were all like, nope, bye, motherfucker. Ain't no fucking way. Nope, nope, nope. Those were that was fucking controlled by the
Mine would
government.
start talking.
No.
Furbies were. I've never had one, but I convinced my brother, one of many things I've convinced Bret of, that there was this really creepy old dead tree in like the backyard behind our garage. Well, the house was the garage. We lived in a garage. And I convinced him that Furbies were evil and they lived in there, and I made up some really elaborate stories. And so he was always scared to go near that tree. And my dad's like, "What's wrong with you, boy?" And Bret's like, "The Furbies live in the tree." And my dad's like, "You should have been a girl." He always said really sweet things like that, like, "I'm so disappointed in you, I can't stand your face." Really cute affirmations, you know? Like, "Your mother should have swallowed you." Adorable things like that.
Oh my god.
So precious. Such heartwarming childhood memories of, you know, trauma.
I mean, I did watch a cannibal movie all the time.
Thanks, Dad. I'm funny now.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, God.
There was no script for this.
We're out of control. I need to stop. Just so everyone understands, if you are by some miracle still here, there was no script, no framework, no plan. This is sheer dumpster fire chaos. There is no control here.
Uh-huh.
Kind of love that for me. It's very on brand for me. Just light a fire and see what explodes.
Oh god.
Like,
wow.
Kind of my daily MO. Like, who can I piss off today?
That's fucking amazing.
Oh, I love that shit.
Well done.
God. Well, since this hasn't been aired yet, I'll tell this one
I did.
100%.
100%.
Rachel got me zucked.
Totally did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, she did. Mm-hmm. She got me zucked.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
If Facebook was a person and not some kind of weird fucking walking uncanny valley example like Zuck, I would fight them. I would fight them with, I don't know, I would sew needles into my skin so that I could fight them worse. Yeah, so there's a really cute picture of a dog, my kryptonite. And on this picture of a dog, Rachel tags me on Facebook. And I'm like, oh my God, the post is for a shelter where you can take a dog and check the dog out for one day and take it on a little adventure. That's so fucking wholesome. I want to die. So I comment back. I wish I had this verbatim, but I said something like, "Oh my God, an adventure. That's so cute." Jokes on them. I would just kidnap him. And we would run away to another state
on there, and that
where
shit
we
was
would change our
deleted
names
so
and work on a
fucking
fishing boat.
Oh, God.
So I got zucked. I got my pee-pee slapped
she's like,
by Facebook.
She's like,
by
what
a
the fuck?
robot.
And I was like, you said you were gonna kidnap him
For 24 hours.
and she's pretty much like, but I am. I wasn't lying.
It's a shelter puppy. I am, yeah. Well, first of all, I wasn't lying.
I have so many Facebook jail memes to send you because one of my lieutenant buddies got thrown in the clink too. So I had to give him all kinds of shit, man.
I need to start getting face tattoos for every time Facebook puts me in fucking jail.
So funny.
Okay? I would have like 8 of them by now. It would look like a goddamn waterfall coming out of my eye. I'd have to move to the other
you'd have to get the icon, the blue square with the white F in the middle of it. No teardrops. That's what you get.
I feel like that's giving them intellectual property to my cheek if I do that. So I don't really want to I don't want Facebook on my face.
Oh, God.
Or what about a book? What if it was a book? Like, book on my face, Facebook. Get it? Anyways, Facebook's explanation for this banishment to the land of everyone normal, I guess, is I was threatening violence. Like, honey, I can show you threatening violence. That ain't it. That's more of a 5-year plan versus a threat of violence, but I will certainly be threatening violence now.
No.
Thank you. Have a nice day. And then I appealed the decision, and they also slapped me down.
That's so rude.
Oh, Journey.
They're like, yeah, you were threatening violence. I'm like, I'm about to threaten violence. Ooh, honey. I'm like, still mad about that. Baby. I'm going to kidnap
And all
him,
of a
and we're
sudden,
going to
like,
move to
the
another
feed just
state and change
cuts.
our names. And we're
He's not a huge fan of water.
Ooh, flatline.
I've tried to like.
It's like the plug getting pulled. I'm just like, immediately.
I've tried to get him to go into the water before, and he just kind of like sniffs it and turns around and looks at me like, I don't have to do this, do I?
Aw.
Okay.
We'll post pictures of the baby so people can, I don't know, that's just clickbait, honestly. It's like, hey, look at this puppy. Go listen to our
We weren't really supposed to know how
nightmare
that was going to go.
This is called Night Terrors.
Can I?
Do we have any more?
He's like,
no.
I have
Do we have any
many
more haunting stories, like creepy things that have happened?
Fuck you guys.
I have so many.
Give them to me.
There was where I lived in Virginia. This is like around the same time, or right. I don't know. It was at some point. I was living down in Tasha will know what I'm talking about. I was down in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and if you know anything about that, it's like heavy Civil War area. So there's apparently paranormal activity everywhere. He's like, okay, now pay attention to me.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to me. Damn it. But yeah, so where we lived, you had to go down this really sketchy like dirt road that like you could have fallen off. Like it only fit one car to go around it to go to where this house that we were renting a part of the house out in. Tasha was there. Tasha had been there before. And so we were coming down this road, and all of a sudden it was late at night. There was like this white cat in the middle of the road. Just this white cat in the middle of the road. So I'm a stupid white woman. I get out of the car and I'm like, come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Come here, kitty, kitty. Right? And the cat like
when I say it, I'm an asshole, but she says it and it's okay.
It's true. Every horror movie, what happens? The stupid white one always gets like every single time. Every single time.
It's okay. Exactly. You'll spend the next hour and 30 minutes running and screaming in your underwear.
So I get out of the car and I'm like, come here, kitty, kitty. And then you look at this thing and its eyes were like pretty much like cataract, like shadowed over completely. And I'm like, come here, kitty, kitty. And it took like a step towards me. And I was like, nope, in the car. And I'm like my ex-husband at the time, he's like, what? I'm not going to run it over. And I was like, don't you fucking dare move. Do not move. Right. So he's like honking at it, like flashing the lights at it. And this fucker like just sat there. So we had to like back down this weird dirt road because there was no fucking way we were going to try to go past this cat. Nope. Absolutely not. It was definitely...
I would have scooped that little
demon,
baby
100% a demon.
Up so
I have
fast.
no doubt.
And if it was haunted, all
this
the
thing
better.
came directly
More
from hell.
for me. I would love... You should have caught it for me. I would love a demon.
This cat, I'm telling you.
I would get along with a demon.
It was so fucking creepy.
We'd have so much in common.
It was like looking through you. You know what I mean? Like that creepy, like just absolute... No.
Are animals...
Nope.
It was the old gypsy lady.
Yeah. Tasha, our resident expert. Are animals haunted or demons, or like what's the animal situation? More or less than humans, or
they say pets are like their owners.
That explains a lot.
So that's my
Okay, but my girl Jewel was a flawless representation of all the purity that exists in the world. She had not a bad bone in her body, and I am only bad bones in my body, so I don't know how.
And
that
then there's
happened.
my
That sounds
dog
like you.
who lost his balance while he was
100%.
pissing in the front yard and fell over. So I'm just
How often do you
Every time.
you fall over pissing in the front yard?
it's weird.
Tasha, I think it's
Now
illegal
I
in
feel
your state.
obligated.
I just need to know the balance ratio here.
Please do it. Please do it. Please do it.
Since I currently work for a law enforcement agency, I feel like I will not take that advice. Although, honestly,
I mean, no one should ever take my advice, but also don't ignore my advice.
it's valid.
Let's figure that out. Facebook.
Yeah, no, it's just a general clumsiness.
Yeah. Don't ever do. That's, I mean, okay, yeah, I could see that. I do see that pets like really look like their owners. It's so funny because
That's why he's so fucking cute.
to kill time, I did some yard work. He's so fucking cute. Aw, because you're so fucking cute. Yes. I did some yard work for a coworker. Like I cleaned the shit out of his yard and like raked up a bunch of leaves and moved a bunch of shit around. And he had 2 little dogs, and I've never in my life seen a more accurate representation of a dog that looked like like ever. It was uncanny. Okay, like this guy is a like he's kind of older, gray hair, little stocky, very marine, like raw kind of guy with a silver mustache. And now these dogs were silver schnauzers, okay?
So funny.
With the fucking mustache. They looked exactly like him, both of them. I was like, this is weird. How did this happen? Like this cannot be an accident. And they were both like they were the same color as his hair. They're both like short, stocky, and like wide, and they had mustaches. How? Do you go out looking for a dog? Like, do you go out looking for a dog that looks like you? Is that what happens?
Well, it's just like spouses.
Simulation,
they always say
autopopulation,
spouses end up kind of looking like each other.
Borrow some stats from the owner. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. And then that's how you end up getting married to somebody. It's like your desire to fuck yourself manifests as this other person who you also can't stand, just like you can't stand yourself. Go to therapy, people. God. Don't marry yourself. Go to therapy.
On that note.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap up this episode of Night Terrors with KC. On that note, go to therapy and or watch this show and listen to this show. What do we got for the end, guys? Give me something snappy. Something a little snappy. Do we have anything to do? Oh, Tasha, plug your podcast.
So it is every Saturday. It is Horror Bestie Breakdown. My friend Angel and I break down horror movies, which is why I know Rachel would have died 5 minutes into this episode. So we do one shit movie a month. Like we did Sky Sharks, our episode before last, which is flying. It is Nazi zombies,
I'd watch.
Flying sharks. I'm just saying.
Oh.
I'm just. It is on Tubi. Tubi.
Asking for a friend. My genius has worn off, so I can no longer play music. I don't know. I only have so much for the day, and I used it all. What can I say? Fuck you if you care about that. We'll have music next time, guys. Thank you for sticking with us through our very, very strange and meandering path of haunting stories, peeing in the yard, things I've nearly shot at work. I don't know what else. This was literally like picking through a dumpster, and like once in a while you find, that Kit Kat wrapper, and once in a while you find like a half rotten strawberry, and once in a while you find a used condom. It's fucking luck of the draw. You never know. So I cannot wait to have you guys back on our insomnia podcast, Insomnipod, Night Terrors. We're workshopping it. Okay, give us a fucking break. We're new. And this is my first time doing this, so make sure you're nice to me, or I'll hurt you and or cry, but probably hurt you. Bye, guys. Love you.